What's up, everyone? This is Ronnie here tonight. I'm by myself. Mr. Chad will not be making it tonight, as it is his 26th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to Mr. Chad. Um, that's about it. Make sure I can hear me fine, see me fine. See a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Shane, how you doing? Girl on fire. Rafifi shop. Grandma Wrinkles. I was said that wrong. Sue, Cincinnati Picker. How you guys all doing? Lonnie, how you doing, brother? Hope all is well. So I'm just here tonight, chit chat. Got some interesting things we're gonna be talking about later. But went out today, hit a few stores. Got more preoccupied with just sitting at the beach, relaxing, and listening to the ocean. So we'll see what happens. Uh, we could answer that question. I'll wait just a few more people get in here before I talk about what the other. Let's say there is no thrifting, yard sale, garage sales, or estate sales. Where would you source them? There's flea markets still. There's still auctions. Auctions are fun. I would go to auctions a lot more. The hat's a Patagonia hat, Shane, but I would say auctions. I mean, I'm okay with never going to a thrift store again. Yard sales, I love going to yard sales actually. What's up, Rudy, brother? How are you doing? Gonna drink some more of that Mama Wanna? But my eyes are bothering me a little bit. I made myself dinner before and I was just paying attention to something else and almost burnt my dinner, and the house is kind of still a little smoky. So my eyes are a little burning. So that's about it at the moment. I mean, sales have been really good. last last 3 weeks have been really solid. So, we'll see. It's been continuing. I like it. As long as I'm listing, I'm selling, it's a good thing. You know what? I'll actually, in a little bit, we're going to talk about where the wife is and certain things that are going on with that. Um, you know, nah, no more takeout. I'm actually trying to eat better. So we'll see how that goes. How many lighting kits do you use? I think my pictures aren't that great. I have one, actually I have one lighting kit right here. That's why this is no more a dark area. I have two lighting kits here, as you see. That thing is bright. It gives me about a headache after about an hour with these two lights on. But we have these had circular umbrellas, and I didn't like the circular umbrellas, so I bought a different lighting kit, and it has the square lighting for the square umbrellas. It's still a pain in the butt. I'm not a big fan of those because we're in a small space where we try to take our pictures, and they get in the way. I have an idea of what I want to do eventually when we have more space, but till that day comes, I'm kind of just chilling out with what we have now. We just have these lighting kits. They have a square umbrella. They cost probably like 50, 60 bucks. What's up, Barry? How you doing, brother? But big news. I'm suspended off of eBay. I got suspended this morning. So I'll be doing some other things. My guide will be coming out soon. No, I'm kidding. I didn't get suspended off eBay. I wonder if anybody fell for that. Did anybody? I forgot this thing is a few minutes behind, so it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. But I didn't get suspended. I'm just playing around with you guys. Just playing, just playing. But you know, the wife has been away. The wife is actually is somewhat leaving the business. Um, some of you may know close friends and stuff like that. She had a chance last year to work for JetBlue. She got the job, took the job, and wind up I don't know how you say it, just calling them back and telling them she couldn't take it because her mom got sick. So this year, the same thing happened. She got a call. JetBlue hired her. She's actually in Orlando now, um, doing the training, and she actually passed today. So she told me I couldn't tell anybody till she passed and graduated, which was today. So she's officially working for JetBlue. It's part time. It's kind of like I don't know, 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, something like that, maybe 6 days a week. But it gives us the opportunity to fly and travel, which is what we wanted to do more. A lot of people are talking about like the whole. I mean, there's a bunch of different variables because um, what's the word I'm trying to think of here? Because we were planning something else to go RVing, and then all of a sudden this came around, and this is kind of something that she wants more than anything. So it's kind of just like it'd be interesting to see how it plays out over time. It's kind of a seasonal job. It's through October, kind of in a way. So we'll see how that happens. So it'll be kind of like we'll see what happens. But yeah, it does help that she speaks the two languages. We have a local airport here in Hyannis. It's not very big at all. They have one flight basically come in from from JFK, and it's one day. One it basically comes in and then turns around and goes back out. So we'll see. They've talked about making that a permanent flight. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but we'll see. But for the part time, it's part time, so she'll still be helping me somewhat with pictures, but I'll have basically free range of the thrifting part of it, and I'll just pile up stuff, and she'll get pictures taken when she gets time, I guess. The real thing comes at the end of the year because it's seasonal. Like I said, it's through probably I think the end of October. I think she's not 100% sure, so she'll have a chance to either transfer to a different JetBlue place, which JetBlue has a lot of places. I don't know how that works. So there's a possibility of getting up and leaving and moving at the end of the year, which is a good thing if it's somewhere nice and warm. So we'll see. And then there's always the possibility of what's the word? Staying on with the company that runs the airport, as they still run a lot of local flights to Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. So we'll see. We have a bunch of goals set out. And if it doesn't work out at all, it's just off to get an RV and travel. So there's different variables at the end of the year, and it's kind of we have to wait to the end of the year to make them happen. Yes, with JetBlue. So it's kind of cool, kind of interesting. Um, I get her out of my hair a little bit now, a few hours a week. So it'll be cool. What's up, bearded picker? So I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, and I kind of have more fun. I've been taking pictures lately. I really am not as good as she is with pictures. Um, I just don't. I just don't like them. I don't know what it is. I hate taking pictures. Like if it was just regular goods or regular things, I would be fine taking pictures. But a clothing takes too much time for me to take pictures, and it's kind of focusing. So it'll be a lot more traveling, hopefully, out of it. Um, so that'll be the fun part. So we'll see. It's a lot of things. I've talked about possibly going to was it eBay Open, so that may happen still. It's a little more easier now because I almost have no excuse somewhat for that one, other than I really hate flying. Really hate it. Like I get anxiety. I don't know how many of you people in the chat get anxiety flying. It's like a whole day thing. You get to the airport, going through security, and security so international flights, it's a whole different thing. International flights are crazy, coming and going because you do actually have to get there. What was it, hour and a half, 2 hours ahead of time for your flight? I think domestic's a lot different, but you still have to make your flight. But last few flights between dog being on the plane, barking the whole time, then another time some lady, like we were sitting in, let's say, row 9 and row 8 on the other side of the plane. Some lady was getting sick, and I don't know if she was crying, she was flipping out. I don't know if she had, being a Dominican flight, I don't know if she was coming back with something, but man, she was freaking me out. And it started almost like as soon as we got on the plane, it was like, "Oh man, here we go, this lady." And kept on looking over there, and some, of course, there's always a nurse on the plane comes over. So don't sit next to the engine on the plane. Happens one time. What's the chance it's going to happen again? What would be the chance that would happen again? Airlines are just it's crazy. Just getting in there, like for me to go, I have to drive to Boston, which is a hour plus, depending on um depending on traffic. Going into Boston's a pain. Then I got to park the truck, pay for parking for a few days. It's not bad though. Parking's, well, don't do like me. I parked in the short term. What? No, I parked in the short. Yeah, I parked in the short term parking the one time because I was rushed and I was there away for 9 days, and it was like $300 for parking. I was complaining to the lady. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Are you kidding me? $300?" Like that was my truck payment at the time. I was aggravated. But what are you gonna do? I knew it. Most of the time, we take the bus into the airport now because it's just so much easier. Take the bus, don't have to worry about parking and leaving a vehicle and paying for that expense. But it's be interesting. I fly because I have to, and it's like kind of once you get in the air, I'm not that bad, but when I'm in the air, it's kind of like not all that. Once I'm in the air, I'm fine. But the takeoff and the landing, I get anxiety. When that plane starts to land, oh, the popping of your ears and stuff like that. So, I mean, if this turns into something, like, let's say next year, this turns into something where she's doing this full time, it'll be a lot more interesting. I'll actually hire somebody to take care of my shortcomings or the things I don't like doing. I will hire somebody to actually help me with listing, and maybe I'll hire somebody for photographing. Maybe I'll reach out to wherever we are, if it's still here, or if it's somewhere else, I'll reach out to some professional photographers or something. Something that make our picture stand out a little bit more different than everybody else. Um, that's the thing. Always try to be different. Always try to do something different than everybody else. But most of JetBlue's flights too, I've seen a bunch of people over there putting in the chat. They don't have first class. It's like they have something now. They upgraded something, but they usually just everybody together. There you go. But man, flying, it's kind of cool in a way, and it's kind of bad in a way. What's up, Wes? How you doing, brother? So I mean, it'll be different. I'll be, the plan is still to do a bunch of different things. But if this uh, holds out long term for her, it's going to be me with the business, and I'm going to have to bring in some help, and it's going to be a very nice, interesting journey to get myself rolling to where I need to be. And I have a goal in mind where I want to be financially with this eBay thing over the next few years. We want to buy a house, but we're going to be moving soon, so wherever we go, we'll have to figure out if that's where we want to be and move on and move forward. And you know, here it's too expensive. I mean, here is the Cape is getting to the point where it would cost us probably, because we don't want to be in Hyannis, but if we wanted to be in a different town, we're looking at 400 plus, just to get into something. And it's kind of like, not really a fan of spending that much money. It brings so much more money other places. Like going to Florida, 400 can buy you a nice house, a lot more house than it can here. Nicer weather, don't have to deal with, or Texas. Maybe I'll move to Texas. Maybe Texas. Anywhere but Austin, I think, or Houston. Maybe outside of Houston, but no, I don't think Austin. Austin seems like it's becoming one of those places. It's becoming overpopulated. Seems like a cool place to be, but it seems like it's getting overpopulated. But who knows? San Antonio, maybe San Diego. I love San Diego. I visited vacation San Diego, and it was great. um, Nevermore. Chad lives in that area. Chad's about 30, 45 minutes away from Pensacola. It's in that area. What's up? Been flipping hard goods. That's Wes, right? I hope that's you, Wes. What's up, Ronnie? Good to see you. Hope everything eventually move. Always here. You talk about it. I mean, it's going to happen most likely this year. So we'll see what happens. The wife has gotten moved on and has gotten a job with JetBlue. So at some point, hopefully, we'll be on the move. One way or the other, we'll be on the move, I guess, or unless she's offered, a position here, and then we'll stay and make it work. We made it work for the last 7 years we've been here, so it won't be that bad. But it's always interesting. I'm not really a fan of Orlando drama. I just the traffic. Maybe if I could be like 30 minutes away, maybe it wouldn't be that bad. Because I think it would still be cool to go to Disney often. I love Disney. Disney's so cool. Um, and then you got all these other cool and interesting places. There's like a lot to do, on the Cape. We really don't have all that much to do. So Ronnie, are you doing good to cancel or 30-day listings? How many listings are you getting up in a day without your helper? Right now, we don't have a helper or anything. A helper would be later down the line, probably 6 to 9 months if we move in that direction. That's like long-term goal, and everything just works out that way. But I do good to cancel actually right now. I was doing 10 days. I wasn't doing 30 days. I seen really no difference in sales for what we were doing, and then I noticed like a lot of listings for whatever reason. There was a lot of things not listed anymore. We went through and did an inventory, which we'll do every like 6 months to a year. And there was a lot of things not listed. So we were like, yo, let's fix this up and get this stuff listed. And I switched everything to good to cancel. Then it really hasn't affected my sales whatsoever. I would assume every once in a while you probably have to cancel all those. It's good probably every 3 to maybe 6 months to cancel all your good to, and then relist them so you get refreshes themselves. There's certain things on there now. I think there's something I have like 12 or 13 watchers, and there's something else with like 8 or 9 watchers. It's like, yo, come on. Actually, there's a few different things with like 10 plus watches on it. It's kind of interesting. I think there was something with 18 the other day and we sold it. It was like, yo, buy this. But San Diego's as high as, yeah, San Diego's high too, but it's an interesting and I think it's a great place. Shane, my nephew, lives in Orlando. It's expensive. Orlando is actually cheap compared to where we live. So I see I see I see Orlando and I think, well, that's cheap compared to what we're doing now. I mean, the goal probably in like 10, let's say 5 to 10 years, if this really turned into something that she really liked and really wanted to do, maybe we'd be able to um, move on and then move to the Dominican Republic and she could work for JetBlue. They do fly into I think 4 cities in the Dominican Republic. Punta Cana being one of them. I mean, it's not a bad place to be stuck. And then I would just fly to the U.S., go for a week-long picking trip or something, and there's a few people I would drop stuff off with and consign stuff with, and send some stuff into Amazon and chill and sit back. Basically, do what the bearded picker does, but have other people sell my stuff for me and not be really into it. Thanks, Kay, for the super chat. I appreciate it. That's really nice of you. Um, the Cape is in. I mean, we talked about this before in our chat. Shane, Cape is expensive to live. It's not cheap. I don't know why it's so damn. Well, I know why it's expensive, but it's expensive. Put it this way: my best friend was selling his house last month. He has a it's a 4 bedroom house, but they turned the 1 bedroom. It was a garage into a bedroom, so there's no garage. Probably like a half acre of property, and it's in a decent area. It's not in a bad area, but it's like their basement constantly floods out and stuff like that. His house, I think, is like 350, 375, and he was just looking to sell it recently. So I mean, that's like the starting level basically for a house on the Cape, and it's not even something I don't like that area. It seems like a lot of rentals go through that area. A lot of those houses are rented in that area. There's certain areas I lived in the past where the whole street in the middle of wintertime, there would be nobody. It would be like you go down all of them was summer homes. And it was really weird. It was like, that's weird. But and then when you get to other towns, like if you're in the area Chatham or Orleans out on the other area of the Cape, the house prices are like probably average house is 5, 6, 700 to start, and then it goes up. So it just depends on where you live in the country. Everywhere, my parents' area used to be really cheap, like Cooperstown, New York, and the areas around there. But that's all gotten crazy price now because they rent a lot of the houses out on Airbnb and through other avenues for the people that come up for the baseball rentals in the summertime. So there's always this shortage of houses, which push up the value of the houses in the area because every time they come on the market, they get sold. The taxes in New York, they'll kill you. I've looked at houses in New York and have fell in love with houses, but I ain't paying $10,000 a year taxes on a house. Like I would be paying almost as much tax and insurance on a house as I would be the mortgage payment. That's ridiculous to me. Taxes are cheaper in Florida, a lot cheaper, even than here in Massachusetts. Something to think about. And Texas is not that bad either. But let me see here. Yeah, Shane. I mean, it just depends on where you live, but houses can be extremely cheap. It's good and bad wherever. What's up, Paul? How you doing? You getting your 5th surgery on your back? Wow. Hope all is well, brother. Hope you get that taken care of. But I mean, it's expensive everywhere, so Florida is tax-free on groceries. Actually, we have clothing here is tax-free on, houses, so I mean, on houses, on clothing. So, when we go to thrift stores and stuff like that, everything's tax-free. I don't know why my phone keeps telling me baseball scores, but, I think Florida has no state income tax too. So that's Texas and Florida, and there's probably a few other states too. I really wanna get away from the snow and the ice and the colder weather. I slid this year. Every winter I slid and I break my ankle or something. And I mean, no, I never broke my ankle. I sprained it this year, but my biggest fear is breaking my ankle. I remember Dusty there sliding down his driveway and breaking his ankle, and that's like my biggest fear, breaking my ankle. Like being, basically tied up from that for a while. I mean, you could make it work still. You could still buy and, you could still buy and, what's the word you wanna be thinking about? You could still buy off of eBay or buy off of Macari or Macaroni or Poshmark, and you could still have stuff come in. You could still make money that way. The margins are a little less, but you could make it happen if you had to. Just have to really be on. Basically, if you were outsourcing 30 hours a day, now you're in front of a computer for 30 hours. I mean, 30 hours a week, and trying to find stuff and trying to deal with it and really trying to make a go of it. It can happen. It can be done. It would be definitely be interesting to say the least. Okay, let's turn that off. There's my mom. What's up, Krillin? How you doing, brother? Hope all is well. There was a question here somewhere. I can't get off this screen. Okay, there we go. So, I mean, what was the question? I've seen it somewhere in the chat. Oh, I gotta go back. Picker's Church is a show that me and Golden Finger Picker do. We've had it for a while. We've done it with different people, but somehow I should bring back Rudy and Square sometime just to have some fun on here. Something about the internet tax. Where did that question go? Okay. What are your thoughts about the possibility of sales tax for eBay internet tax? If I remember right, it's it's basically, what is it, South Dakota or North Dakota? One of those two is suing, was it Wayfair and Overstock, is it? To see about including taxes. I mean, this goes back to, I guess, was it 70s, 60s, about mail order catalogs and stuff like that. This case, so I mean, that was when they decided that there would be no taxes on it. So now, they're trying to make a thing. I mean, it's gonna eventually, at some point, it's gonna happen, and it's just gonna be, one of those things that we're gonna have to adapt to it. I mean, think about how much money eBay says they go through. I don't know what it is right now, but eBay gross revenue for the last, or eBay and Amazon. What do you think the gross revenue for these two companies, if not all these other companies, have done over the last the last few years? These states are actually like looking like, yo, we are losing out of a lot of money. Losing out of a lot of money. And I think that's where it's eventually, I think, gonna get passed, and you'll probably see it. They've talked about this for a few years now. There was the internet tax thing they've talked about before. Now this is just a different one about it. I mean, there's no reason to get all upset, no reason to go crazy, and we just hope it doesn't go through. If not, we'll have to adapt and have to change. And become a little bit of a headache, I guess. But I mean, you adapt to business. These are what happen in life. Things change. Okay, you gotta go. I don't know who you are. You gotta go. See you, homie. But you just have to adapt to things. You can't let it worry about it. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I haven't been really keeping up on it. I read up on it a few days ago. That's the only reason I know a little bit of information about it. But we'll see what happens. Bonafide picker. What's up, brother? How you doing? Virginia's mild winters, mild summers, except for August, sometimes September. Average house. See, that would not be a bad price. I would like those prices. 150, 200. I could deal with that. I have an aunt and uncle that are in Farmville, Virginia, and they've actually said that like what's the like June is like the worst month, so who knows? But let me see here. Amazon sell if they go through. Texture will be a Fortune 500 company. That's probably funny. It probably will happen because Texture. I haven't heard anybody talk about Texture in a long time. And that was the first thing I thought about. You know, that company becoming something else again. Belushi Ronnie found a Orvis bird and lake jacket. Are you familiar with Pelotags? Do you have an email? Yeah, you can send me anything you want. Anybody, if you guys want me to check out something, you send it to Hearts Motor Company. You can look at it in the chat right now. You'll see it. Um, anything, just send it there. HARTSMORORCOMPANY So that's about it. Ohio's dirt cheap. Our 2 bedroom is 500. I just don't want to be in the cold anymore. I can't. I can't deal with it. And my parents are gonna move south. My niece has another year left of school, and my parents are gonna move probably after that. They have to get rid of 3 properties, so and kind of in an area which does take a little bit of time to sell property. 2 of their places, well, they could probably move the houses if they wanted to. 2 of them are in desirable areas, and the other, there's been some interest on it if they would just sell it. But I gotta kind of move somewhere south before they do, so hopefully they want to be closer to me instead of me wanting to be closer to them. So we'll see. Um, we plan on moving to Pensacola eventually. I can't do Alabama ever again. I don't think a lot of people want to do Alabama. Alabama. I don't. We went to many years ago, and maybe if Bearded Picker's still in the chat, when we lived in Navarre for a few years in Marietta when we were kids in junior high. And 7th grade, we actually went to a Christian like Methodist I don't know youth camp up in Huntsville, Alabama. I think it was somewhere around there. I don't know what the name of it was because I mean we're talking about so many years ago, but it was kind of interesting. I remember we went up with a bunch of the kids in our church group and went up there, and it was interesting. It was fun. Tampa's pretty nice. Lots of thrift shops. Tampa's not that bad. I actually like St. Petersburg. I think it's St. Petersburg. I don't remember. I remember when you went through Tampa, then you go over a bridge. There's the airport. There was a Goodwill by the airport. We did stop there. Then you go a little bit more, and they go down this downtown area. I think that was like St. Petersburg. There was nice park, nice stuff over there. That was really nice area. That would be. a possibility. I don't know. Not sure what a possibility is. We'll just flip a coin when it comes to decide and go for it and hit it. I'm not really. I think if we do move somewhere, I would maybe get away from thrift stores a little bit. I kind of love more of the estate sales, yard sales being basically somewhat year round, a little bit more than where we are now. You live in a Walmart parking lot? Do they have internet in the Walmart parking lot? I hope you live in an RV at the parking lot. Watch flood areas. Flood insurance is dangerous or is expensive. I don't know where I'm getting dangerous from. Who's Don Caesar? Is that a restaurant or something? Just moved to Southern California. We have yard sale street 260. Is it 36, 365? Uh, you guys are funny. You are gonna move to Kissimmee. I said that right? It's Kissimmee, right? It's not Kissimmee. I think when I was a kid, I used to call it that. Kissimmee. It's Kissimmee, I think. I don't know if I would move to Kissimmee. When I was down Kissimmee, we went to a few thrift stores down in that area. That area looked a little rough. Little rough. Don Caesar is the Pink Hotel on St. Pete Beach. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey Ronnie, what would you pay sight unseen for Orvis jacket? It depends. Is it leather? Is it polyester? Is it nylon? Is it wool? What kind of it has to you have to have some type of idea other than it's just an Orvis jacket and trying to swing for the fence. If I didn't know what it was, I wouldn't pay more than $10. Like if it was a leather jacket, it'd probably go up to 25. Just depends. You guys are getting hungry. Hunting jacket, 100% cotton, probably 10, $15 probably. Oiled cotton ones do pretty good. They do a lot better. Because you're just getting out of the season to sell a jacket. You're going to sit on it probably a few months or several months. I just picked up a jacket today and I had to buy it, but I know I'm going to be sitting on it probably for a few months. It has the foul pack on the back. That's a pretty interesting jacket. I mean, I'd maybe pay up to like $20, but I wouldn't probably pay more than that just because you know you're going to be sitting on it for the possibility of for the next 6 months. I just picked up this jacket today, but I have a feeling I'll be sitting on it for quite a while. It's this woman's long jacket, but it's a Burberry jacket. It's wool and cashmere blend. It's women's, made in Italy. But I know I'm probably going to be sitting on this till winter, so we'll see what happens. But I still buy stuff all kinds of all season long. So I mean, I'll buy anything any time of season. It doesn't matter. It's eventually going to sell. It's like stocking inventory and just waiting for the right time of season. Um, do you pick up video games for FBA? I do pick up video games, but I've almost never send any in because usually they'll sell before I send them in. I price video games to sell, and most of the time I'll wind up doing the shipping myself. And you're not getting screwed on the shipping when you ship them yourself. As some items like board games or larger items, you get screwed on the shipping, and there's not much you can really do about it. What's the difference between Burberry and Burberry's with an S? Burberry's with the S is the older style of Burberry's. In about 99, they changed the labels from Burberry's to Burberry. And then from there. So They're just the older Burberry stuff, if that makes sense. So that's it. Screw Amazon. Actually, this summer, well, I figured this out starting a few weeks ago to prepare for our move and just to make sure we have a lot of extra money set aside because we'll be fine. But all my money from Poshmark and all my money from Amazon is actually going into my savings account, and I'm not going to touch any of that money. So everything that goes sells on Poshmark, everything that sells on Amazon is going to that account. I'm not going to touch it. So it's either going to be whatever I need to buy with that money, house money, move money, buy RV money. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But I like saving money for certain situations. That way you have it. Um, the drawback for is wait what? The drawback is sites like eBay and Amazon will be held responsible for disbursement. So I don't know. Oh, you mean taxes? We'll see. Who knows? Um, if you had six pre-owned Polo Ralph Lauren Parka cotton short sleeve, would you bundle or sell altogether? I I like bundling Polo Ralph Lauren stuff together. Usually put it in lots of like two or three, and they usually do fairly decent. I kind of like that. It's just something I enjoy doing. That's just they sell good for me that way. You could do it single pieces. I mean, we just sold a polo today for like 26 shipped, and the other day we sold something. John, I just seen I got your email. I'll look over after I get done with this and check it out. I mean, I really hope the end if they do add this tax stuff on, they're responsible and they're not bothering us with it. You know, I just hope that they collect the tax and they pay the tax. But who knows? I'm not worried about it. What's up, Pete? What's up, brother? How you doing? Hope all is well. Um, we'll see. It'd be nice if they just did a normal flat rate across the board instead of New York with 10%, 12%, whatever New York is, and Cape Cod 7%, and whoever knows. And then each county now decides they want to have a little tax added onto something. Hey, we're going to put a 1% tax on that too. So it could get very iffy, ugly, So who knows? Just hopefully, if they're going to make it, they're going to make it easy for everybody. Anybody see these damn Toys R Us? How is everybody else's Toys R Us near you guys? Because around me, Toys R Us is still at 20 to 40% off. I haven't been in that store, but I think they've been having that sale now for like 3 months. 20 to 40%. I haven't been in that store, and they had a truck dropping stuff off not too long ago. Like, is this going to be like a year long running out of business thing? Like, they're just going to be running out of business for the rest of the year? It'll be interesting to see how it goes. I wonder. I mean, I don't really think people will be scared off by the online taxing because what are you going to do? Go back to stores? I think most people will just figure out that it's something that has to be done and it's the inevitable going to happen and buckle up because with all these retail stores going out of business, Best Buy and are taking a hit. Kmart and Sears will be closed and all those stores will be closed in probably the next 5 years. There will not be a Sears and there won't be a Kmart. I mean, I'll give you that right now. You'll see those stores done. Toys R Us will be out of here probably by the end of the year. That's a lot of retail space gonna be opened up and left. I mean, for a long time, we had a Circuit City that sat empty here. They just built the store, and then they went bankrupt, and they closed, and they built that store. Now it's, the cheap hardware place. What the hell's the name of that place? Harbor Freight is in there, and they seem to be doing pretty decent. Every time I go in there, it's like a ghost town, but they seem crowded other times, just not when I go there. They got cheap, what do you call it? Cheap moving blankets. I use moving blankets for a lot of signs when I ship the signs. So I wrap them up in there, keep them from scratching or anything like that. Circuit City is the Goodwill bins. Your Kmart closed last September. There was a bunch that closed in New York. We went to one like Albany or Binghamton area, maybe. Johnson, I don't know where it was. We were going through and we stopped and we went through the store. I don't remember what we picked up a few things and sent them to Amazon. But I for the life of me I don't remember what we even picked up. It was some type of like sports uh bicycle tubes or something. Bicycle related, if I remember right. It had to be at least now, maybe 2 years ago, 2 summers ago, when I was kind of like going a little bit crazy on Amazon. I was feeling Amazon there for a little while, and then they changed some of the things. You started having to be gated for certain categories and everything like that. So it was like, what's going on over here? But if anybody got any other questions, put them in the chat. But life is good. Can't complain. Though I did make a mistake with the wife, and I told her if she did get this job and she did pass, and I was going to buy her a Jeep. So now I have to get her a Jeep, which kind of changes things around a little bit. Maybe I'll get rid of my Suburban and get her a Jeep, or I'll get like a cheap second car, so I don't have to worry about it, like a '90s Toyota Land Cruiser or something like that. I think that would be nice. Fix it up. Those things will run forever if you take care of them. You just don't need a rust bucket. Put a snorkel on it and a roof rack and big winch and bumper in the front. Nice tires. That'll be nice. Oh, Yonkers is closing by end of summer as part of the Bonton Group. No good deals, right? The Bonton Group. Wasn't that I think that was a store in Binghamton, New York. Bonton. Is that like I want to say like a cheaper version of like Nordstrom's or something like that? It just seems like I remember seeing one in Binghamton, New York, or in Johnson City or somewhere over that way. Endicott, maybe. Bonton. The best thing about the big chains closing is getting mom and pop businesses back just as fast. It's really weird how years ago everything was all these big companies came in. Home Depot still does well, but Home Depot, Lowe's, and they pushed, and then like Walmart started popping up everywhere. You had all these stores, like kind of push everything out of here. So you know, but all these companies pushed everything out of here. Like used to have all these department stores when we were kids. There was like Caldors. I remember there was a Caldors in West Babylon, New York, because I used to work over there at the Wendy's when I was 14, I think. And then there was There was Caldor, there was Ames, that got pushed out. What other? There's another one too. I can't think of the name. I can't remember yet. But there was a lot of those department stores that were closing. It's kind of weird. I mean, malls in general are closing now. I mean, you see malls in general, like malls were big. I don't know when, the late 70s, 80s, they popped up. Bradley's. I remember that we had a no, we had a Ames. Or did we have no? We had a Brad. There was a Bradley's in Oneonta, New York. I'm kind, and there was a Ames where our Home Depot is now, because our own Home Depot went in there. A few towns over, they were going to have a Lowe's come in, and the town fought and wouldn't have Lowe's come in and open up right down the street from the local lumber yard. So I mean, it was good for them to keep them out of there. They're like, nope, don't want you here. I seen that there's a guy that talks about malls, like, because I've gotten down into the thing of watching some of those like guys where they go through like abandoned buildings or abandoned houses. It's always interesting. It's kind of interesting. It's my rabbit hole of the day sometimes, every few months. But learning all I can, understand that you also have your own clothing line. Is that true? I don't have my own clothing line. Mm-mm. At one time, we thought about have that now, but because we had a friend in the Dominican Republic that had a factory and could make stuff for us, but we never got into that or anything like that. He actually sold the place, so it doesn't even work now. It was like the idea of it, but it never happened. Um, Ronnie, have you seen the abandoned mansions? No, I haven't. I don't see anything abandoned. We don't really have too much abandoned businesses on the Cape here, too much. Um, every once in a while, you'll see like a business. There's some. I don't think they're abandoned because somebody owns it. You know, there's a few Chinese restaurants that have went out of business over the past few years, and they become eyesores. But outside of that, he also does a series of dive hotels. That would be interesting. Win some, lose some. Jim Butler was joking when he said that about your own line. He was showing off a blazer that was Hart and something. Oh, how do you say that name? Schaefer, Mark's Hart, Schaefer, Mark Schaefer Hart. Wait, how does that go? What is that company? I just listed a blazer by this not too long ago. Now I'm having an issue. Hart, Schaefer, and Marks. Hart, Schaffner, and Marks. Nothing to do with me though. That's funny though you said that. He's a good guy. He makes some good videos. I enjoy other clothing resellers, other men's clothing resellers that don't go to the bins. I don't like the bins. I go to the bins. It's like take out the Crocodile Dundee D knife and you know make sure you have two guns on you, one in your ankle, two on your holsters. One in your back pocket. I'm not a fan of going to the bins. Maybe it's just the few of the ones I've been to, like the ones in Boston. Maybe because it's the area that Goodwill Bins is in, but that store is generally a mess and crazy chaos. Not a fan. And then I've been to the one like in Portland, Maine. It's not that bad. I've been to the one in Orlando. It really wasn't that bad. So, and then I was in the one driving down 95. We went to like we went to like three stores in a row that we just picked out of the blue, and it was like, oh, what is this? It was just like, here's a bin store, and then here's a bin store. It was like, yo, what happened here? Why am I finding these bins everywhere? Uh, the Boston bins is kind of a cluster. It's definitely a cluster. It's a small compared to other Goodwill bins. That thing is small, but that has to be the largest. That one on what is it, Harrison Ave over there by the hospital. That one has to have the biggest Goodwill store I've ever seen. That store is huge. They have to probably put out 20,000 pieces of clothes a day, at least 10, probably 10 to 20,000 pieces of clothes go on that floor a day. I would bet you that store is huge. I've never seen a store that big. Department or Goodwill or Salvation Army. That one is ridiculously large. Indianapolis has 4 bins. That's crazy. That is crazy. My parents, 2 of the properties my parents got were on tax auctions or whatever they were. So it was interesting. When we first started reselling, the first year, so this was back in 2012, we went to the bins even before anybody talked about it on YouTube. We went there, and it was kind of wear gloves when you go, and you would see people in there with face masks, but it was always, especially in regard to life that I didn't like. So we just cut it out going there after a while. And we didn't never found anything either. So it was like, forget this. Let's just go. It wasn't my cup of tea. There's people that make good money there and do good things, but it's not for me. Um, I went to the bins once and saw a grandma stab a dude over a pink dress. I had never been back. I think it depends on where you go because when I was in Portland, Maine, I went there, and I think it was on like New Year's Day. And I remember Chad telling me, he goes, "These places open New Year's Day." I'm like, "Oh, dude, all these Goodwills up here in Maine are open New Year's Day." But the bins were open. I went there, or was it? No, it wasn't Christmas Day. It wouldn't have been Christmas Day. It had to be New Year's Day because we went up there for a few days. I mean, there's people they find good stuff at the bins, but it's not like a common occurrence that they're finding great things at the bins. But it's cool. I mean, I've found. Have I ever found anything good at the bins? I found a Sherling leather jacket once. It was no name to it really. I think it's just made in Turkey, and we sold it for like $250. To this day, I don't know. There was no reason. It sold in a few hours, or it sold pretty quickly. It might have been a day or two, but it sold pretty quickly. It was back in when we used to do best offer on everything. That's pretty cool, Annie, that you found that. But I'm not a bin person at all. Would you list a Peter Millar Newer Tags dress shirt for managing price? No, they're not going to go up. They're not going to. It depends on the cut. The they have like the one sells a lot better than the other. I think it's the I don't have a shirt in front of me. It's like a Neurolex or Lux or something. I think it's like a non-iron kind of shirt. Those sell better. But I mean, you're looking at getting like probably 40 to 60 for it, depending on size. I think I sold a small recently for like 35 with tags that I've had listed for a year. Oh, my wife wants attention now. Uh, Running hard. Any reason that you do not offer best offer? I don't like best offer. Best offer is just if it's a 3 extra large, probably gonna do a little bit better. Probably get 75 for it. I bet. Yeah. But anyway, back to the other. Um, I don't like best offer. It just seems like when I do that, everything sells slower for me. I don't We had best offer because I couldn't figure out how to run sales properly. And then Lonnie showed me how to do it properly because I kept on getting an error screen where nothing would go on sale. And I'd be like, "Yo, what I'm doing wrong here?" And then that happened. But I mean, I would get offers at 50% or lower everything I listed, and I counted offered everybody. And a lot of times you don't hear anything. And there was certain days where I had no offers on anything when I ran best offer. I stopped doing that, start going back to my running my sales. I run sales anywhere between usually 15 to 25%, sometimes a little higher. If we've had a slow week and I'm like, I got to be a little more aggressive this weekend to get some sales, I'll put a higher sales just to move stuff. The name of the game is moving stuff because if I no money's coming in, I can't pay bills. The light's not going to stay on. The internet's going to stay on. Guys going to be coming out with the eviction notice, be on Operation Repo as they're towing my truck away. Like, can't do it. So, um, just I just did away with it. Some people, best offer works for them. Some people it doesn't. Some people like running sales. Some people don't. Some people like free shipping. Some people don't. It's just whatever works for you and you're happy with. That's all it comes down to. Um, and you kind of got to figure out what works best for you. Me running sales works best for me. Probably at some point, I'm going to take a few days, take all my listings down, and then reprice them because I have them kind of priced at where I was just doing best offer and blah blah blah. And some of my prices are screwed up. Some things I sell, and I'm like, oh, I didn't want to sell it at that price. What happened there? I don't care because we find stuff all the time. The stuff is out there. I don't care. The stuff sells. The name of the game is getting stuff sold. So it was a great show, Operation Repo. For a while, that I don't know what it was. We used to watch like Operation Repo, and there was that other one like in South Beach Towing or something like that. That was interesting, and they had the one in like the Carolinas with the what the hell was the name of that one? Lizard Towing or something. They had all kinds of those shows, and then they had like the people in Philadelphia where they had the car boots on them. They put the boot on their car for not paying the parking tickets or whatever it was. They had all kinds of shows back then. Now they don't. But Nevermore Antiques, Bait Car. Remember Bait Car? That was funny. I watched the airplane repo one. I thought that was interesting. And the funny part was, I remember watching that guy a few years before that on like when they were talking about when the economy was like going down. I remember his face, and he was on there, and he was like talking about how his company, repossesses these high-end boats and airplanes, and then you see the show a few years later, and you see that guy, and you're like, "Hey, I've seen this guy in the news before talking about this." It's kind of funny. Nevermore Antiques, Ronnie, how many items do you have listed? I think right now I have approximately 450, um, 450 items approximately right now on eBay. So approximately, the goal I would like to get more up, before we eventually do move. That would be another thing, possibly. But we are back home. 451. There you go. I knew it was around 450. So I mean, it's kind of like I could probably get to like 700 at the house. We just don't have space other than that one bedroom. Unless I'm putting like a shelf or two in the master bedroom. I don't know how the wife would feel with that, but hey, I could bring it up to her and see. Probably stretch it out to 900 maybe. Remember the dude with the ponytail and parking wars? No, I don't. I'm Bumblebee 20. I just watch TV. No, I don't watch TV, just YouTube and Netflix. That's the same thing here. I watched Netflix a lot lately. What show did I watch recently? One day I just Sunday I sat all day. I watched, what was it? Training Day, and I watched something about John Mathevy, the guy that had the the software in the 90s. That guy was messed up. Dude, he was messed up. I'll get down these rabbit holes even on TV. Like, I'm just taking the day off. Like, I ain't doing nothing. It's raining outside. I ain't going outside. That's it. Sundays is my day just to chill and relax. I don't like to do anything that day. And then I started watching, what was it, Boss Girl or something like that. And they canceled it after the first season, so I didn't know that till after. And I'm like, oh, when's the second part of this coming? It's canceled. That show was kind of dumb. I can see why they canceled that show. It was kind of interesting, but it was dumb at the same time. John, have you had S32 mess up a garment? I haven't so far. I've only used it on 2 items. Um, on one of them, I got actually ink out of a shirt, so that was like pen ink, like a pen exploded and actually got it out of there, so it was pretty cool. Because I wasn't sure. I picked the shirt up and we had it for a little while, so it was pretty cool, pretty interesting. Um, I sold a baked car once on eBay. The buyer served 10, 20 years. You got me lost there, Bonafide. I think you were trying to make a joke. Trying to make a joke. I got it actually from a lady that's in our group in Florida. I think she lives in Destin, Florida. She told me about it, and then she actually sold it to us, so it was pretty cool. Um, Ronnie, do you wash or dry clean any of your items before you list them, or are they always as is? This is the problem. This is what happens with clothing. We don't wash everything that we get, but this is the kicker. If something looks too dirty or too ugly, I will not buy it. Most of the shirts I get, probably I would say 50% of the men's shirts we get, like long sleeve shirts and stuff like that, dress shirts or casual shirts, have been dry cleaned. They're from the cleaners. They sell the dry clean tags on them. A lot of the people, I forgot who it was. I want to say it was like the college picker, and it makes the most perfect sense. People donate from their closet, not from their hamper. Most people. Most people, they donate things that are sitting in their closet. And it's so true. People don't bring down their hamper of dirty clothes to the Goodwill and be like, yo, here it is. And most of that stuff goes off to the Goodwill bins. That's the stuff you probably winds up at the bins. You know, we'll press though. We have my wife bought a steamer a few years ago, and it actually works really good. Uh, I don't remember who makes it. It's made by that lady that has all the inventions. It's like on QVC or something like that, and she has like all the. She had a movie about her, and they sell some of her stuff at Macy's. That's where we got this little steamer. I don't know the name of it, but it works perfectly. It's nice handheld one. It works. She loves it. You know, just don't steam silk items. The water sometimes will leave marks on the silk. Silk and water don't like each other. A lot of things we'll just bring to our dry cleaner if things don't look too, if I feel that there's a little bit of something that needs to come out or it needs to be cleaned, I'll just bring it to our dry cleaner. I think ties are like $1.50, shirts are like $2.50, a jacket's like $6.50 or $7. We get a little bit of a discount if we um, pay ahead of time, and then there's always and if things smell, I do not pick them up. I smell everything. My nose. I have I do not deal well with smoke. So anytime anything would smoke, I can smell that like you wouldn't believe it. My nose does not like it. Um, Let me see here. We had a professional steamer before that. I don't remember. There was, and it didn't last long. We got it at like a Goodwill. It's probably a reason why it was donated, and it didn't last long. And then we had a Sunbeam one for a while, but my wife just didn't like bringing it all around. It's so much easier just to use the handheld one. I guess she likes it better. That's all that matters. Um, Let me see here. You think about $10 each for polo button-down shirts, a few large pony with three. I would not pay $10. I mean, you're looking at maybe 25, $30 to sell them for. I would not. Not me personally, I would not pay that much money for um any polo Ralph Lauren shirt unless it was something special. You meant to sell, you probably get more than $10 for them. Like I said, you probably get about 25 for them. I would think. I would sell them for a lot more than $10. I mean, even if you bought it at $1.50, I hope you're not doing free shipping. You got to figure fees would be $2 or $1.50 between PayPal and eBay. So it's one of those things. Size medium, probably still get $25 for them. Somebody will like them, but I would ask 20, 25 before I ask 10. Um, what's up, Dwayne? Nice of you to come through. Let me see here. Sales are slow. It's probably about that time where everybody's gonna make a video about the summer slowdown. Just be prepared for it. It's gonna be out there. There's gonna be a bunch of videos probably coming. It happens every year. I mean, it just happens. I mean, in general, the clothing market. If you look on eBay, we made a video about it, just showing it firsthand. If you went into, I forgot where you find it exactly, but you can see the trends of like all the men's clothing. You can see the trends of clothing in general. You see the trend of everything. Everything. All of a sudden, summer comes and it's like, other than like shorts or like casual shirts or something, which casual shirts are like polos and short sleeve shirts, but most things is a little dip in the road. It comes summer. People are not at People take vacations. People are preoccupied with kids being out of school and everything like that. So it definitely is very interesting to see. But summertime is why we hit yard sales and estate sales a lot harder. Last summer, I kind of took the summer off from YouTube and from eBay in general. We just cut back big time because I was feeling a little burnt out. It's kind of funny. The year before, I think our best month in 2015 was 13, no, 14, was 14.5. No, 14.2. It was 14,002, and that was in March. April was our second best month, followed by September. Goes to show you, our worst month was July and June, but we did 8,000 and 8,700, and in May we did 8,800. So I mean, it just goes to show you that we kind of didn't. It fluctuated, but it didn't fluctuate as bad as it did last year. Last year we slowed down a little bit because I think in 2005 we did over 127,000 just on eBay. But last year we only did 102. We just barely broke 100 because this summer we just dipped out big time, and in general this summer was kind of on a trickle. But talking to my wife real quick so she doesn't feel like I'm just not answering her back for no reason. She starts answering, "Nobody loves me. Where are you? What are you doing?" You gotta let her know. People whine about slow sales all year. I mean, it's. I'll say it, and I'll tell you the real thing about it is you have to buy what is in demand at certain times of the year, and have to push those certain things. Now, like any business, and this is any business, the sales are up and down constantly, up and down, up and down, and they're hot. No different than a retail outlet. It's real busy before Christmas, and then it's real busy after that, and then it slows down a little bit into the summer. All retail businesses are that way for the most part. You know, no different than like Pete's here. He can tell you his retail business. People coming in will look for certain things at certain times of the year. Probably October, November. Snow blowers are hot. Snow shovels. Sell some rock salt. But nobody is coming in the store looking for a boat, fishing equipment, probably. It's just one of those things. There's certain times of year where things sell hot, things sell cold, and you just have to roll with it or find some other way and prepare to take it. It's just, it averages out a certain amount all year long. Um, suits and sport coats die off for us big time over the summer. My average sale per price is right now almost $60 every month, 60 to 70 every month, plus um 60 to 70 every month right now. Come summer, I'm barely lucky if I can sniff 50. And then you add the shipping on top of that. My average, I barely sniffed 50. I think I had like 43 last year at one point. Just because we're selling a lot of lower end things, a lot of shirts, a lot of lower end things, that $30 level that just brings everybody crashing down. It's like, no, where did you go? I like taking summers off or going a little bit. This summer I can't take off just because the possibility that we're gonna have to move at some point. John, did you hear about the Rally Roots return problem with eBay? I've talked about certain issues with eBay. eBay has definitely a lot of issues. I don't know the whole scoop of what happened. I mean, I've seen their video. I don't know. My I watched their video. I think they maybe escalated the case, told them what happened on the computer. You can't escalate any case on eBay. Something like that happens, you got to be on the phone calling them, explaining the thing. Take pictures. Make sure you send them pictures. If somebody sent you some headphones and a little envelope, I'd be taking pictures of that little envelope. I mean, Pete's in the chat. Pete got screwed out of a laptop last year. I mean, someone sent them, I think, someone sent you a brick or a bag of sand or something? It was crazy. And he had to fight for it because he lost that case originally. Now, like, we've been lucky. We had two similar these cases back in early, in our eBay career, 2012, 2013. And we luckily won both of them. They weren't huge dollar amounts. They were probably around $100, give or take. But it did take us some work to make it happen. And eBay, when I talked to them about the return thing, they said you got to call in manually to have that done because their system is flawed when you automatically open a case on eBay itself. Always call it if you call during regular business hours, you're not going to be talking to eBay much more than 10 or 15 minutes. Like, and we all have 10 or 15 minutes where we can hang out and talk with eBay. Most of our cars have Bluetooth now with our phones and with our vehicles. You just punch it through, get it on there, take your little drive to wherever you got to go, and just hang out for a few extra minutes. That bad. But stuff back to you that's not correct or screwed up, or we've had buyers send us the wrong thing back by accident. And I waited like 3 weeks for the guy to send us the right thing, and I had to send that thing to somebody else. This guy was like a serial returner, I think. So what are you gonna do? We shipped out 3 pairs of new AG jeans, and the customer sent us back an envelope filled with magazines. Luckily for us, they were really stupid and sent one with their mailing address still attached. That's kind of interesting and funny. All right, getting kind of late here. Pete is the man. Pete Craigslist Hunter has the best YouTube channel on here. If you made videos every day, I'd love it. Pete, make videos every day. You still in the chat, aren't you? Or you just popping over here, say hello, and then pounces out. What is your favorite Dominican dish your wife makes? I don't think my wife. I mean, she makes rice with the beans, the whole beans, some yuca, but I make probably the best. Um, what do you want to call it? The best thing I love that's Dominican is mofongo, which is basically plantains. They're like cooked twice, and then they put what the hell is that stuff? The crunchy stuff in there, and you can put it with other things, garlic or whatever. That I love. I love, 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 love. Pete's YouTube name is Craigslist Hunter. Right under you. Right under you, Manuel. The guy right under you with the peace sign. You can click on his thing and find his channel. See you, Brian. Nice for you to coming through. But I'm gonna get out of here. Mofongo is a Latino food, I want to say. No different than like fried plantains. I remember when I was at work, I fried some plantains. This is probably 7, 8 years ago, and we're frying plantains, and the Jamaican guy's like, "Oh, they have those in the Dominican Republic," and then meet a Brazilian, they doing the same thing. So a lot of that food, I think, is all over the place. If it's a Latino food, it's a Latino food. They all love it. I don't know where it originated, but it's a Dominican food that I enjoy. I'll say a Latino food. How about that? But I made some actually for the first time a few months ago, and the wife actually loved it. So if you guys watch this channel, you'll know what's up with us. I mean, we put out videos 2, 3 times a week, and I don't hide anything from you guys. So always, always sharing and updating and showing you guys what we're doing. It's been the same for the last 6.5 years. But see you guys later. The struggle will continue. Have a good day. Have a good night. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Ching ching. See you guys. Peace out. Bye bye.